Yo, 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 Twitter. Happy Saturday. Well, what? I'd like to tell you we sold a load of domains, and we have. Obviously, every day is a sale day, because when we make profit, we sell. Anyway, I've been reflecting on the Domain Sherpa podcast, and specifically, what is it and why do I want to buy GoDaddy? And is it realistic? That's the other thing, right? So, if you think about it, we live in two worlds. People don't necessarily realise. It's kind of apparent, right? So I get tennis coaching, for example, and tennis coach is really good, but she doesn't have amplification because she doesn't have social media. Okay, now, if you can take her and you put her big online, then she can do an app, or she can service more people because of the digital world that we live in. So there's kind of two worlds. There's this internet thing, and then there's this real world. So, and people don't want to bridge between the two. It's uncomfortable, right? It's uncomfortable to change. And for me, when I see change, I run straight at it. The more uncomfortable I feel, the faster I run, because I know that I'm growing, and that's the whole purpose for me, of being alive. And so the reason why I'm saying this is that there's another world. For those that understand the internet and the amplification of the internet, they kind of understand that there's a decentralized world. There's a world we can exist whereby we're responsible for our own actions. We can manage our own money. We can handle our own political views. And technology is there to arbitrate. Technology is there to execute. Technology is there to provide the thing that means we don't need people in the middle of a transaction, right, to get involved. We don't need extra cost. Like often when someone's in the middle of a transaction, that's a problem. There's extra costs, there's extra fees and everything else. Now, in certain things, think of the domain world, right? A broker adds lots of value. Just look at Drew Rosner and stuff. He helps educate buyers as to why they should increase their budget. He helps educate sellers on why they should be realistic about the domain name. And if you look at the things he's spoken about over the years, it's really true and valuable. That's experience. So there's certain things where you need an expert. You know, when my washing machine breaks, I need an expert to come and fix it. I could probably go on YouTube and learn how to do it, but what would be the point? Because my skills are not, and I earn more money by not fixing the washing machine, by having someone that can fix it for me. And the reason why I'm saying this is that the GoDaddy thing isn't about GoDaddy being good or bad or anything else. Or the GoDaddy thing is that GoDaddy is a huge brand that's had its day in terms of there isn't an owner of GoDaddy. There are shareholders. There are staff that go and get salaries and collect a paycheck and have a job to do and tick boxes. And as a result, they're kind of driven by different motives. So what would a decentralized GoDaddy look like? Well, that's the kind of thing that I've been thinking about a lot. So decentralized GoDaddy looks like a collaboration between my company, Media Options, Name Pros, DN Forum, Acorn Domains, Name Bio, Grip Brokerage, all of the vibe coders around. It's like a collective of people. Look at the talent spread across the world. Look at Josh Reason and DNX and how far he's come. Look at Leanne and Crunch ID. Look at all this vibe coding that's going on right across the thing. There's a best in class. Look at Todd Ryan, who's done for years the DNX, the show that he does. Look at everyone in the domain. Look at the ICA, right? Collectively, if there's a common goal and you unite those people, that is a decentralized GoDaddy. And it's decentralized because it's a common goal around being best in class at what we do, but pulling resources together by sharing information. Right, I think that's the truth of things. For me, GoDaddy's the brand. So you make a statement of GoDaddy, you change things, right? But collectively, it'd be very easy to acquire GoDaddy because all we have to do is say, okay, cool, well, I can share my information, my platforms with others so that they can monetize and build on top of me. They make their money, I make my money, and we collectively buy shares, for example. So it's actually pretty straightforward. And I guess it leads into, because I coach people, it leads into, and this is the bit that people say to me, like, why? Ryan, why do you want to be Prime Minister? Why do you want to do this? You could just chill and you could do these things, right? And the weird thing for me is that basically, why are you not doing it? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you look up and realise that people are in really bad situations and your life comparatively is okay? It might not be exactly where you want it to be, but it's comparatively okay. And tomorrow you can wake up in a safe environment, and go and do your thing, right? Your children can grow up in a relatively safe space. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much, right? The key point here is when I coach people and stuff, I guess, look, there's two stories we tell in life, okay? There's a story I tell myself, okay, and there's a story I tell you. So the story I tell you is that I'm going to buy GoDaddy, right? The story I tell you is that I'm going to IPO for $100 billion, give it all away and become Prime Minister. Right, now that's the story I tell you. Maybe it's for awareness, maybe it's to grow my profile, maybe it's so you buy my products, right? Ultimately, it's a story that is very kind of systematic, it's a little bit out there, it's different from any other story you've heard. But fundamentally, you can understand it in very simple terms as to what I'm going to do. Whether you think I can do it or not is kind of irrelevant, because if you don't think I can do it, that's good, because you're paying attention. And if you do think I can do it, that's fantastic, because you're probably going to get involved in helping me do that, right? And then there's the story I tell myself. Why is it that I, let's say, work 20 hours a day? Why is it that I want to help people? Why? What is it that drives me so much? You know, my story, if you look at my website and stuff, is that my childhood was brutal. My whole life has been brutal. In life, when you have a knife to your throat or a gun to your head or stuff where you're going to jump out of a plane, you have to put your faith in something else, because you have nothing else at that moment in time. You surrender yourself to the universe, and what happens, and you have no control whatsoever. Now, you know, that brutality from a very young age, like being a year ahead at school, being in Mensa, all this, and then banging my head, and then suddenly I'm in a military boarding school, felt like I'd done something wrong. Hiding in a river, sleeping in a river for 3 days, or feeling like for 3 days for being 8 years of age or 9 years, that's wrong on every level. The beatings I took, all that stuff, it's wrong. Okay, it's totally wrong. And I don't want my kids or your kids to ever be in a situation that happens to them. Right, so I'm hugely driven by that. That's the thing that I can't get out of my head, right? That I want people to have a fair chance in life. I have seen what it's like when you grow up with no money. I understand how difficult it is. It's difficult for parents. They can't be kind and understanding because they need to worry, how the fuck am I going to put food on the table? Right, so when you truly understand your story that you tell yourself, the story I tell you is irrelevant, right? Because that's the bit I try to help you bridge the gap between the reality and how passionate, and that's my why. That's why I'm aggressive. That's why I'm going for it, because in 3 years' time, this has to happen. This is like a do or die thing for me. Right, I don't get to opt out of that. That's something that burns so passionate and deep inside that I don't have a choice. Right, and the reason why I'm sharing it is that collectively, forget being Prime Minister. It starts like in my community in Chichester. The changes that I've made over the last 6 months, and it's going to become more apparent. Right, then it'll be the local area, then it's community, it's all this thing, and then it's country. Right, and in the domain world, it's the same thing. The domains have domains. Braden, Leanne, other people don't even realise. Drew, Josh, people have given me purpose again that I lost in finance. I I've always worked hard, but suddenly there's a group of people that I want to belong to, and I want to work really hard to show them how good I am, because we're competing, right? But competing in a good way. And if we compete together, we can do so much. And that's why, like, it's kind of dawned for me over the last few months, even when I see FD and Doran's videos, and he opens up about his life, and collectively Name Pros are so supportive, and they're doing their thing, and the Freelanders, and then you've got Helmets on DM Forum, and he's doing events, and I understand, and we need to understand everyone needs to make money. That's cool. And if we collaborate, because my thing is the technology. I had my arse handed to me with Brandable. I trusted people that I paid a serious amount of money, right, to deliver what I needed, and I was let down. Right, it's my fault ultimately, because I should have been better. I should have tried harder. I should have done these things. I wasn't focused enough or driven enough by that hunger and that thing as to my why. So ultimately I take responsibility. Now I've got people who, best in class, they want to work with me because I'm a little bit different, because we're equal. We have a company that's by and large like everyone's equal. We're all sharing the same goal, which is to IPO in 2030. I'm going to give away all my money. They can do whatever they want with their money. It's their money, right? But that's why, and it's cool, and it's different. I don't have a job description for people. It's like, come in. What am I going to do? I don't know. You're going to find your way, because deep down, everyone wants to feel accountable. Everyone wants the opportunity to work hard, earn a fair pay, be valued, right? Have a couple of holidays a year for their kids to grow up in a safe environment. And that's it, everyone's the same, right? You turn on the internet or the news or something, it's all, wow, it's all this and all that. And in reality, 99% of people are good people, right? And they just want a chance. And sometimes people get a bit lost in life and get into bad habits and all that kind of thing, right? And the moment you believe in someone, like for the people I coach, who are varying, a whole range of people, they want to be accountable to someone. They want someone to give them a pat on the shoulder like we are a kid, you know, well done today, little Johnny, you did really well at school, right? Like as adults, that's the same thing. We just want to know we're doing the right thing. That now, with the working environment, because we have the opportunity, technology is here for us to embrace working on our own. That comes with a different set of challenges. And ultimately, people want to be held accountable. Am I doing the right thing? Right, for my whole life, for as long as I've worked in finance and everything else, I don't have someone to go and ask about a problem. I have to fix it myself. So I've kind of got used to it over time. And that's the challenge I see with people. They want to be like, okay, am I doing the right thing? People are so concerned about making the wrong choice and going down the wrong path, and there is no wrong path. For me, it's interesting because what I realise, the quicker you make a decision, the quicker you move forward in life. Right, for me to be where I am now, it has to be 20 hours, it has to be quick decisions, it has to be rapid fire. There is no right or wrong decision. I might spend months on a project, like even DNWE, the work that went into it at the time, right? Potentially you could argue it was a waste, but it's not a waste because I learned so much stuff. I unpicked what Josh did. And now the future, you know, in the next few weeks or coming month and stuff, you'll see lots of changes, lots of iterations. So nothing's ever wasted, right? It's just learning. We're here to learn. You can learn in the classroom or you can learn in the real world. You know, I bailed from university because seeing how a raindrop lands in a puddle and how the puddle disperses and stuff doesn't excite me. Working with imaginary numbers, that didn't excite me. Right, the future for me in 2030 is I'll go back to university. I want to work in quantum computing. I want to work in fission and solve the electricity problem and the energy problem we have there. That's really exciting me. I don't like being paid for my time with money, right? Which sounds a bit weird, but my goal, and even having kids and stuff, you know, I want it to be sorted in life, so I could give my attention to my children. I wanted to take them to school. I wanted to make them pack lunch. I wanted to be there at sports day. I wanted to be there at all the things that maybe, like when I look at my childhood, you know, my dad was in the Navy, so he was away for periods of time and stuff like that. And so I wanted to be around for my kid. I didn't want to have money worries. And so for me, the work thing has been massively focused. That's the drive in that. And along the way, I'm like, well, everyone wants the same thing. So all they need is someone to go, right, okay, let's just have an adult conversation. Let's stop arguing about this or that or what or them and us. We're all the same frigging thing. It doesn't matter. And that's the funny thing. And when you break it down really simply, it kind of makes sense. And I think that's why you end up with political movement. That's why you end up with change. And you go, actually, do you know what? Like, you might be American, you might be Indian, you might be Pakistani, you might be thing, right? We might have varying lives, okay, but we want the same thing. Right, and technology is such an amazing thing that can bridge gaps and stuff. So if I can help people in South America or people in India and Pakistan with infrastructure, with payment rails, with the ability to trade, with using our platforms to help them and spread education and stuff, that can only be a good thing, right? As much as you might or may not like Epic, they did a good thing in terms of they were going down the right path, right? They were going down the right path in Africa. They were going down that right path for helping people who don't have the same opportunities as us, right? And you change one person's life. There's a thing I call the butterfly effect, right? Which is basically one butterfly flaps its wings. It's a maths thing. In its simplest form, one butterfly flaps its wings in South America. Millions of butterflies flap their wings in South America. Suddenly you end up with a hurricane somewhere. And that's it, you know, today, the one takeaway I want you to think about is that when you get up, you can change someone's life. You can be that butterfly. How do you do that? Right, I remember, before I tell you this, I remember telling people I was going to change the world, and people thought I was an absolute lunatic, but they didn't understand, because what I was saying is just get up, be happy, smile, give someone a tip, tell someone they've done well. When you're going for a coffee or you're going somewhere or you're doing something, well done, you look good today, well done, thanks for this, thanks for that, here's a little something. Right, that's the butterfly, that's how you change the world, right? It's not even about being Prime Minister, it's not about anything other than making someone smile, right? And then they take that smile and they spread that smile. You know, if you think about the opposite of that, road rage, you get in a car, you're like all angry and you're taking out on other people, and then they feel angry and they feel that energy and spreading all this crap energy around the world, and before you know it, you've got wars and shit, right? It's a bit extreme, right? But it's a point I'm trying to kind of get across, that we can make a difference, and if we work together, we can create a decentralized domain world, right? Where we share resources, where we share opportunities, where we build stuff that more and more people can come into the space, right? Which ultimately is beneficial for everyone in the domain world if we can go mainstream and more people understand it. So that's the thoughts for this morning when I'm out doing my little walk. And it was just thoughts from Sherpa. So let me know what you think. I probably should script videos and stuff, but sometimes it's good to just, and I tell this to a lot of people, coach, just pull your phone out your pocket, right, bang, I'm Ryan, this is what I think, okay, and you can do the same. I've seen it with Dorian now, I've started doing, for a little while now, he's doing this kind of thing, and it's good, because you get to know the person behind the company. You know, would I use FD? Absolutely, since seeing those videos, I'm more likely to use them than I was before. You know, and it's interesting. So anyway, happy Saturday, and just remember, if you have a domain name and you get an offer for more than you paid for it, sell, sell, sell.